Tonight I'm going to be interviewing Dee Nimmin. He helps you, yes, you watching on YouTube, how to create content with the mobile phone. But tonight we're going to be talking about YouTube Shorts that is blowing up, and you upload it and it gets big. Isn't that pretty cool? Or you do a live stream. That could grow too. So we're going to be talking about YouTube live streams versus YouTube Shorts. Let's get started. Let's get started. We had a little tech mishap, but that's fine. The replay is not going to see that, but hope everyone's well. In the chat, we have the wonderful Dee Nimmin. Woo!
What is going on, Sammy? Thank you for inviting me on to talk about live streaming and YouTube Shorts. This will be a fun conversation.
Those are like the hottest topics of like YouTube in 2020. Because what if you're just starting creating and you don't know what they are and you just found this video? We're gonna explain it right now. So
yeah, if you want to talk about YouTube Shorts, if you are new to YouTube, if you're new to me, playing some music. If you're new to YouTube and you're trying to figure out how can I grow my channel faster, traditionally, you need to make long form content that's 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes plus. You have to edit the content. Of course, it's in landscape mode. And you put it up on YouTube and you don't get any views when you first get started, and it's discouraging and it kind of knocks the wind out of your sails, but you have to keep on going video after video after video, and it's a really slow process. YouTube Shorts, however, is a new feature created by YouTube. Where is my phone? You need to shoot YouTube Shorts vertically, which is up and down, or you can do a 1:1 ratio, which is a square like you would see with Instagram. And the way it works is it needs to be 60 seconds or less, preferably shot vertically. And you put YouTube, or you put hashtag shorts at the end of your title. When you do this, it might end up in what's called the YouTube Short Shelf. The YouTube Short Shelf is on the homepage of YouTube. They are showcasing short form videos like this. Now, here's the thing. If your video ends up in the short shelf, and some videos are ending up there on brand new channels with no subscribers, YouTube is putting their shorts in the short shelf, and people are finding that they're seeing explosive growth in some situations. Some people are just getting some views and it's trickling down and disappearing. Some people are getting thousands of subscribers through YouTube Shorts. So it's easier to be seen with YouTube Shorts versus traditional long form content, the way that you probably have learned about YouTube. So that's the cool thing about YouTube Shorts, the opportunity for a new creator to be found on the platform faster than they normally would if they were uploading traditional long form content.
Why have YouTube Shorts been blowing up on the platform?
Because it's a gold rush, right? This is the new thing. Everybody's running into YouTube Shorts because everyone wants the fast views. Everyone wants the fast subscribers. Everyone wants to grow their channel faster. And YouTube Shorts, this is the new gold rush in terms of traffic, in terms of eyeballs, because that's all it really comes down to, is how do you get as many eyeballs as possible on your content? And on YouTube, YouTube Shorts is currently the best way to do that if you don't have a built-in audience just yet. Or if you do have a built-in audience and you're trying to build a larger audience, YouTube Shorts is the way to do that. So everybody's just running in on this, trying to figure out how can I maximize my traffic? How can I maximize my views using YouTube Shorts? It's working out for a lot of people. It's not working out for some people, but just if that's you, just keep on trying, keep on making those shorts. All it takes is one short to hit, one short to be successful, and your channel might be up and running.
You could blow up because
some people are. Yeah.
This is the thing. My friend, one of my friends, had a vertical video from 2018.
Mm-hmm.
It has 3 million views, and it was before Shorts got big.
Yeah.
And he was at 300 subscribers. Now he's at 3,000 100,000 in a couple months. So YouTube Shorts are helpful.
Yeah, so that's the cool thing about shorts. While YouTube says to put hashtag shorts at the end of your title or in your description, it's not necessary. What people are finding is that if you've accidentally uploaded a YouTube video in vertical format that you shot with your phone and it just happened to be under 60 seconds, even though it's years old, if that video has performed well and YouTube can see that with the data, YouTube is automatically putting those inside of the short shelf. So even though people aren't intentionally making shorts, some of their older videos are actually ending up in the short shelf and getting tons of views. And some of those are turning over into subscribers. So yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Oh,
Where'd you
something
go?
happened. My cam link.
You know, it wouldn't be a live stream without technical difficulties.
Yes. But
Right?
now we're back.
Welcome back.
But was live streaming ever big to grow your channel? Or was it never?
It depends. See, here's the thing with live streaming. Live streaming is a phenomenal community building feature. You go live with your community, you can hang out with them, you can do live training, real-time interaction with an audience. That's hard to beat. Unfortunately, in most situations, that can be difficult to grow a channel around unless you come up with a regular show. For example, if you had a regular morning show that came on at 8 a.m. every single day, Monday through Friday, and it was a morning show. Think about the TV shows, right? You have, the Letterman show. It was on every night at a certain time, every day of the week, Monday through Friday. Same thing. So if you have a show and it's consistent daily like that, you might be able to build up an audience around that. But for most people who are just doing occasional live streams, or even like myself, one live stream a week, it's difficult to grow a channel around that. But what you can do is you can repurpose your live stream for the replay. By that, I mean, when people are hanging out during your live stream, that's one particular type of audience who actually enjoys live streaming. But once the live stream is finished, that video pretty much dies off. But if you conduct your live stream in a way and you title it in a way and you bring in the intro and you carry it and you end it like you would a longer form video, then it might have replay value. So maybe when somebody's in YouTube and they're searching for something, they might be able to find your live stream that way. So there's different ways to go about live streaming, but if you're going to use it to grow your channel, I would recommend thinking of some sort of a show to do on a regular basis, or conduct your live stream like you would a video, title it like a video, have an intro, have a strong hook at the beginning, or trim off the beginning, which you can do inside of YouTube Studio. So when somebody clicks play on it, it plays just like a longer video. So if you're doing that and you do have replay value on the video, it can be a little bit easier to grow your channel. But live streaming versus shorts, those are two totally different things. That's like a hammer versus a screwdriver, right? They're both tools and they're both needed to build like a house or something, but they do totally different things.
Yes. And the reason I did this topic is, what if you're just starting to create and you hear someone talk about shorts, growing their channel, and about live streaming, and they just picked up a stream deck or a camera and they're just getting started. What do you think of when you have a live show? Is it practical if you have a good informational part of a live stream? Is it good to clip it into a short?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. So let's say you do a hour-long live stream, 45 minutes to an hour-long live stream. It could be some sort of a hangout. It could be a Q&A where you're taking questions from the audience and you're answering their questions. It could be you're telling a story. It could be some sort of a training where you're teaching people how to do something, like maybe you're doing a 30 to 45-minute training session on how to edit videos or how to use Adobe Photoshop or something like that. You could go back and you could download that video and you could edit that and edit say you've got, 30, 45 minutes, or maybe even an hour long live stream that you've downloaded, you could cherry pick the best segments of that and turn those into bite-sized consumable videos, 2 minute, 3 minutes long. You could put those up as individual clips and title those in a particular way. For example, if you're doing a live stream on, how to use a beginner's guide to Adobe Photoshop, every time you go to a different feature or a different tool, you could clip that out and make a standalone video on how to use that particular tool. And then you can make a title, how to use the lasso tool in Photoshop. That's a standalone video, right? So if somebody clicks play on that, right away you get right into it and you show them how to use the lasso tool, for example, right? But what you could also do is you could cherry pick that even more. So you have a 3-minute section that you've clipped down into that. You could cherry pick that and edit that down into something that's under a minute and use that as a short, right? You're going to have to reframe it and edit it so it's either square 1:1 ratio or 9:16 ratio, which is vertical. Then you can use that as a YouTube short, so you can put it there. But the cool thing is once you have that vertical video edit, however you wanted to do it, then you could take that same video, put it on YouTube Shorts. You could put it on TikTok. You could put it on Instagram Reels. You could put it on Dubsmash. You could put it on Byte. You could put it on Likey, right? There's a bunch of short form content platforms now where a lot of people are seeing explosive growth. So in terms of just getting started, if I were to start my YouTube channel today, and I don't have a name on YouTube, I don't have a following, and nobody knows who I am on YouTube, and I want to be a YouTuber, I want to be a professional content maker, I want to do this full time and make a living, I would actually start with short form content. I would start uploading to TikTok. I would start uploading to YouTube Shorts. I would upload to Instagram Reels. It's the same piece of content. Dubsmash, Likey, Byte, TikTok, Instagram Reels, Instagram Shorts, or YouTube Shorts. I would start putting the same piece of content on all of those platforms, and I would make sure that in my profile of those platforms or in the description, if they allow you to write a description, I would put a link out to my YouTube channel if I was trying to bring people back over to YouTube. That would be my strategy moving forward, because discoverability is easier now with short form content, short form vertical content, than any other type of content that you can currently make. So I would start on those platforms, including YouTube Shorts, and I would go all in, regularly update, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 times a week. I would upload videos and then try to drive people back over to YouTube. That would be my strategy. I wouldn't even consider live streaming, doing that strategy, until you start to cultivate a real audience. Then I would consider it live streaming.
Yes, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, when did YouTube Shorts come out?
Put me on the spot here. I need to hydrate for this one, Sammy. Hold on. When did YouTube Shorts? I don't know the exact time it came out, but I want to say October of last year. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong. I want to say it was released in India in October of last year. So what happened was TikTok was banned in India. China and India there's some political stuff going on. India started, I think they banned something crazy like 80 Chinese apps. TikTok was one of those apps. So they banned TikTok. TikTok was incredibly popular in India. So YouTube saw that and they moved in and they said, hey, we've got this new short form platform. It's vertical. It's not just like TikTok. It's similar to TikTok. So since India banned TikTok, let's move in and fill that void. So that's what they did. They beta tested YouTube Shorts in India. Now, YouTube Shorts in India, where the rest of the world, we have the ability to record the short on our phone traditionally. We can edit it on our phone traditionally using apps or desktop software. Then we can upload it to YouTube. When they first started beta testing this in India, and more people have this now, they actually have a camera inside of Shorts or inside the YouTube app. So if you're going to open up the YouTube app and now you can live stream, you can upload a video, or you can record a short. That's called the Shorts camera. And then you can actually record your short. You can do some basic editing with your short. You can add music from the Shorts music that they give you, so you don't have to worry about copyright issues. So I don't know the exact date that it came out. I just know that they beta tested this for quite some time in India. And India
I
has,
yeah,
I don't know the exact number, but I remember reading something around 3, man, I know I'm going to, I hope I don't get this wrong. I believe it's like 3 billion daily views in India alone. Something insane like that on YouTube Shorts.
I just checked. Shorts launched in India in September 2020.
September, I was close. I said October. I knew it was somewhere around there.
Yeah, but it's blowing up. You could post a random video and it gets 2 million views, 3 million views.
It's the gold rush, right?
Yes.
Without shorts, everyone is in the trenches, slugging it out, video after video after video. Most people are growing slowly. It's a grind, right? If you've got a YouTube channel, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You do have those people who pop up from time to time and they upload a video or two and they just get tons of views on it. That does happen, but it's rare. The average person, it takes a lot of videos, 50, 75, 100, 200, 300 videos on YouTube before they really start to find their groove and build an audience and figure out what it is that they want to do on the platform, because a lot of people are starting out with no skills, right? You have to learn how to communicate. You have to learn how to edit. You have to learn how to make thumbnails. You have to learn how to choose the right title, choose the right topic, write the description. You have to learn how to do all of this stuff for your videos. But with YouTube Shorts, with TikTok, with all the short form content, you've got your phone, you've got your front facing camera. Editing can be very raw, if editing at all. I mean, you can make it as complex as you want, but a lot of people are seeing wild success just by turning on their camera, front facing camera, hitting record, saying whatever it is they want to say, or recording whatever it is they want to record. And then they just upload it, and then the world decides if they like your content or not. And if they do like your content, you can see explosive growth through short form content. So I love the idea of YouTube Shorts, but I just want to let people know that that's not the only place where people are seeing amazing growth. There's still plenty of room on TikTok and Dub Smash and Likey and Byte, all the other short form platforms. Put your content everywhere.
What do you think when someone blows up on TikTok, like Dixie D'Amelio or like you, or because didn't you get like 20,000 followers on TikTok? What do you think when they get a big TikTok following and everyone loves them, or they like following them? What do you think? How do you feel when they say subscribe to my YouTube channel? Is that hurting the YouTube channel or it's doing better?
Well, if you're starting out on TikTok and you start to
Yes.
have success on TikTok, so a weird thing happens. People generally like the platforms that they're on. And what people have found is that, and I'm just generalizing here, there's definitely some people who have found success, different ways of doing it. Generally speaking, if you're building an audience on Facebook, it's difficult to convert those and turn them over to YouTube followers, right? If you're into Facebook, people are usually into Facebook. People are into YouTube or generally into YouTube. People are into Instagram or generally into Instagram, right? It's hard to send them back and forth. TikTok, though, is it's a weird thing that's happened with TikTok, because it's a lot easier to get people from TikTok to send them over to YouTube. I don't know why that is, but I know a lot of people who have built their YouTube channels because they've had success on TikTok. Instagram Reels, kind of the same way. I'm not sure with the other platforms like Likey and Byte and Dub Smash. I'm not sure there, because I don't know anyone who's grown their YouTube channels specifically from those. I just like to use TikTok because it has the most discoverability and the most viewers. But I know a lot of people who have grown their YouTube channels quickly because they've had success on TikTok, and it's able to translate over. I don't have a problem if somebody says, hey, if you like my TikTok videos, come over and check out my YouTube channel. I've got more of this type of content, but it's longer. I have more of it. So I think if somebody's providing value of some sort, it could be that they're teaching me something, or they're making me feel something, or they're entertaining me, they're making me laugh. I'll go follow them over on YouTube. I think it's a good strategy, or just overall. If you can build a following on TikTok, which I think is the easiest place to build a following right now, I think TikTok actually has more opportunity than YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts is getting all the news because it's the newest thing, and it's, Google is behind it. But discoverability I know a lot of people who are not having success with YouTube Shorts. They're making YouTube Shorts, they're uploading them to Shorts, they're not getting views, the Shorts are not going into the short shelf, they're not having any success. They're taking the same video, they're uploading it to TikTok, and they're getting thousands, if not tens of thousands, and in some case hundreds of thousands of views on the same video that's not having any success over on YouTube. So, there's different ways to go about this in terms of strategy to building a community.
Yeah. What is the best way to do YouTube Shorts? Is it through your phone, or you have a nice DSLR camera or a mirrorless? Something happened again. But this Sony is acting up. But what do you think is the best way to film your YouTube Shorts? Is it from a camera, phone, just directly from the phone? Or should you edit it?
I'm going to say the best way to make content for any platform, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram Reels, Dub Smash, whatever you're making content for, the best way to make content is the way that you're most efficient, right? However you're the most efficient, do it that way. Whatever helps you tell your story, do it that way. Whatever helps you be a better communicator, do it that way, right? So whatever's going to make you the most efficient and get your message out the quickest, do it that way. For example, so if I'm making long form content on YouTube and I'm making a tutorial on my YouTube channel for how to do something with your phone, now if I'm outside, I'll use my phone and I'll film that outside. If I'm indoors, I've got access to cameras and stuff like that. So I'll usually use, a camera to film myself making a phone tutorial, because that makes the most sense and I'm the most efficient when I'm sitting in front of a computer or even my laptop if I'm going to edit something on my or iPad, right? But if I'm making content for TikTok, 100% of that content is made on my phone. I shoot it with my phone, I edit on my phone, I put graphics and text. Everything is done on my phone, because in order for me to upload to TikTok, I'm the most efficient using my phone. So I've worked with channels, and I'm currently working with channels. We're working with YouTube Shorts. But if I wanted to do a serious YouTube Short strategy on my main channel, I would probably do the same thing, where I would shoot stuff on my phone and do screen recordings and different mini tutorials and that sort of thing. But I'd probably do it on my phone, right? It makes sense for me if someone's consuming it on their phone vertically, and it's the most efficient for me to shoot it on my phone in the same way they're going to be consuming it. It just makes sense for me to do it that way. But if your way is to use a camera and a computer or an iPad or a couple of cameras, do that. There's no right or wrong way to making content. It just comes down to how are you the most efficient, and what's the best way for you to communicate with your audience and tell your story or spread your message. That's really what it comes down to. And that can be a phone, that can be a camera, that could be your webcam on a computer, that could be a potato with a lens on it. However you want to do it. Did I lose you? There you are.
Have you noticed that YouTube Shorts help people?
Helps people do what?
Helps people find an audience.
Oh, absolutely. The cool thing about YouTube Shorts, and before I get into that, I want to say some hellos to the people in the chat, if you don't mind. I see Doug Hewson is in here, and Zane is in here, and I see Pete Johns and Angel. A whole lot of people in here. Thank you, guys. And Callie's in here. I think I saw Construction Cronies. Gang's all here. How's everybody doing? Okay. The cool thing about YouTube Shorts is when you open up YouTube Shorts, or wait, I'm sorry, when you open up the YouTube app. Now, before I get into this, I want to say that over 70% of all views on YouTube, 70% of all watch time on YouTube is coming from a mobile device. Right? That could be a phone, that could be an iPad. Now, I believe this is reducing a little bit because a lot of people are now they're using, PlayStations and televisions where they're broadcasting from their phone over to the television. So that is changing a little bit. But for everybody doing this on a phone, as soon as you open it up, right, and you start scrolling, YouTube Shorts, the short shelf is right there on the homepage. So as you're scrolling through YouTube, the short shelf is going to be right there. You can't avoid it. And then if you're watching a video, so if I tap into a video and I scroll down underneath the video, YouTube is testing a bunch of different things here. You have both shorts and you have your stories. So they've got shorts again and stories right underneath the video. So the short shelf is showing up in 2 different locations currently on YouTube. And that's what makes it powerful because people cannot escape that. They can't not see the shorts, right? It's easy to miss your videos because your video, here's the thing. What are the odds of your video showing up on the home page of YouTube for people who are not subscribed to you? The odds are pretty slim unless you've got a viral video, right? They do pop up from time to time, but they usually don't, right? Shorts, however, there's a really good chance that your short is going to show up on the home page in front of people that don't subscribe to you. So the opportunity to be discovered is much greater for YouTube Shorts. So that's how it's helping people find you, right? It's easier to be discovered that way.
Okay. So now we have some questions about shorts.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
I love shorts. They are amazing. Yes. He's seeing that a lot of his audience have been liking it. And he also has another question. Dee, do you think it's good or bad idea to include a subscribe button in his YouTube Shorts?
That's a great question. And I think it's going to have to be something that you test to see how it works, right? YouTube Shorts is still new. So even though we have a good understanding of how it works, we don't have it completely dialed in how the audience is responding just yet, right? YouTube can tell us how many people watched it. We can see our audience retention, so we know how many people viewed it. So we get some information, but we don't know how the audience in general is going to respond. Here's one thing to keep in mind about YouTube Shorts, and I think this is something that makes a short successful versus not successful. A YouTube Short should be a piece of content that is in alignment with the rest of the content that you're making on your channel. So if somebody sees your short and they say, hey, I'm going to go check out the rest of this person's channel, and they click in on their channel, you have an entire content library of videos that are of a similar topic to the short that they just watched. I think in that, I think in that situation, I think a bug just bit me. Well, I don't know why. It's like a mosquito flying around. I think something got me. So I think in that, where somebody watches your short, they come over, you have a content library full of that type of similar content, it increases the likelihood that they're going to watch more videos, and it increases the likelihood that they're going to subscribe to your channel. Should you put a call to action? I'm not sure. Test it, but I'm not sure if that's going to be the right approach. What I would do, because when you think about what's the most important thing for YouTube, the most important thing as a YouTuber now in 2021 isn't necessarily to get a subscriber. The most important thing is to get them to watch additional videos, to get them to watch more content. The more content you can get a viewer to watch, the more YouTube notices that and then continues to put your other videos in front of that viewer, even if they're not subscribed, right? So telling them to subscribe doesn't really mean a whole lot, because if they subscribe to your channel, that doesn't guarantee that they're going to see more content, right? If anyone looks at their analytics, for most channels, you're going to see that the majority of your viewers, or at least half of your viewers in most cases, are not even subscribed to your channel. So you've got all these thousands of people. And so I've got 130 something thousand subscribers. And I don't know, maybe 70% of the people who are subscribed to my channel, they're not watching my videos. It's all new people coming in. Now, I have a tutorial-based channel. It's a utility type channel. That means people come to my channel because they want to learn a particular thing. And once they learn that thing, they generally don't come back unless they get into me as the creator. So there's a small group of people, right? That 30% that's left over, they come over and they want to continue learning, and they're enjoying how I do my live streams, and they become part of the community. But the larger percentage of them, they just come to learn that one thing. They subscribe for whatever reason, and they're gone. So the most important thing isn't to get that subscriber. It's to get them to watch another piece of content. Because if you can get them to watch another video, YouTube's going to show them more of your videos, subscribed or not. So instead of doing a call to action to subscribe, what I would do is I would think through, okay, so I'm making this short. What would be a good follow-up video to this short? Something, if you liked this short, what would be a good part 2 or something else that they would be interested in? For example, let's say I made a YouTube short on the best, or say the short was, let me think. Okay, let's just, the best video editing app for iPhone. That's the short, right? Say it's 30 seconds long, and I just briefly go over the best video editing app for iPhone. So they watch the short. I know now that they're into video editing on a phone, and I know that they have an iPhone. So the next logical thing for me to do would be to try to get them to watch another video that's about video editing on an iPhone, or something that's iPhone creator specific. So let's say I had a full-length video on my channel, which is 3 minutes long, the best free video editing apps for iPhone. Right? So I might tell them at the very end of the short, if you want to learn even more free video editing apps, check the link down in the description. I told them there's a link in the description of the short. I'm going to then drop that link in that description. That's going to link out to a 3-minute video where I go into more detail about, more apps that they can use. Or maybe I go into a longer tutorial. So instead of a 30-second short where I talk about this app, here's this app, and you can only talk about so much in 30 seconds. I could also say, if you want a more detailed tutorial on how to use this to get more watch time and get more views on YouTube, check the link in the description. And then they click on that, then they go over to my channel, right? So it's kind of a handoff from one video, from your short to an actual longer piece of content. So that's more important to me. That's more important to a lot of people than just getting them to subscribe. I know that was a really long answer to a short question, but that's what I would focus on, because getting them to subscribe, that doesn't mean much in 2021. Getting them to watch multiple pieces of content, that's where you're going to win, because those are all positive signals going to YouTube. This viewer likes this content. And the more they watch, the more YouTube says, we're going to keep showing them more of your content, because they tend to watch that content when we show it to them. So that's where you win.
Yes. And we have some people just joining us. Hello.
Hey, welcome. Howdy, welcome.
Howdy. And we have some more questions. Q. Regular uploads versus YouTube lives. Does YouTube treat them differently?
Regular uploads versus YouTube lives. Does YouTube treat them differently? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So you upload a normal video to YouTube, right? So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to break down the process. Everybody in here, myself, Sammy, Construction Cronies, Doug Houston, Zane, you upload a pre-recorded video to YouTube right now. Here's what happens. The second you upload that video, YouTube starts collecting data on that video, and they start showing it to a particular audience. That's usually your subscribers first. How those first people react to that video is going to dictate what YouTube does next. So let's say your channel's new, right? You're struggling to get any views whatsoever. You upload a video, YouTube might show that video to 5 people, right? They might show that to 5 people, and then they're going to see, how do these 5 people react to this video? How do they click on the thumbnail? Do they not click on the thumbnail? If they do click on the thumbnail, how long do they watch the video? Okay. If of those 5 people, and I'm just pulling that, it might be 10, it might be 50, it could be, 50,000. It depends on your channel size. Depending on how they react, if they all react, or if the majority of them react negatively, that's the death of your video. If the majority of them click on the video and watch a decent amount of the video, YouTube sees that and says, okay, 3 out of 5 people clicked and watched a decent amount. We're going to show it to 10 people now. And they collect the same amount of data. How do these 10 people react? Okay, now we're going to show it to 30 people, and so on and so forth. And again, I'm just pulling those random numbers out. That's not a fact how they break down the numbers, because they're going to show it to different sample sizes of viewers based on your channel size, right? But that's how it works. But when you go live, YouTube is putting weight. So if you go to YouTube right now and you're looking on a desktop, you're going to see on the bottom left-hand side, you're going to see all of these channels that are live, right? You're going to see the live icon. YouTube is putting live videos up at the top of the feed. So YouTube is giving weight to a live stream while it's live. The problem with live streams, as we talked about earlier, is when that live stream is over, either that live stream is going to die and that's going to be the end of it, or that live stream is going to be repurposed and the beginning is going to be trimmed and the end is going to be trimmed, and you're going to put a different title on it, maybe a better thumbnail, and you're going to try to treat it like a normal video. And if that's the case, then you might end up getting some traffic from various traffic sources. So, it's a different feature. It's a different feature. I think if you have a successful channel and your channel is where you want it to be, you have a little bit more freedom to do what you want. But if you're still trying to get the ball rolling, you're still trying to build that channel momentum, and you're like, you know what? I know I could be better than this. I know my channel could grow. Then you need to take advantage of everything that YouTube gives us. Upload your videos. Go live on a regular basis. Take full advantage of YouTube Shorts. If you've got access to the community feed, make sure that you're posting regularly on the community feed. If you've got access to stories, post regularly to YouTube stories, right? YouTube is giving us 5 different places we can upload content. So if you're trying to figure out how can I build momentum, you should be uploading to all 5, or you should be maximizing all 5 of the places that YouTube allows us to actually make content and upload it. So if you're not, you're losing out. You're losing out on possible traffic sources that you could be. You don't know, right? Like you might find that, okay, my shorts aren't working very well, my videos don't work very well, but when I make stories, my stories go gangbusters. People love my stories. All right, you never know. So you need to try all of that stuff. And cool things you can do with community feed. You can run polls. You can ask questions. You can share parts of your life that you normally don't put in the videos. You can link out to other videos. Like, you can do things like you could create a 2 or 3 video playlist, okay, of older videos. Say there's videos that are 3 years old or 2 years old. You could post those to your community feed if you have an active community. And you can say, I'm going to remake one of these videos and try to update it for 2021. Which one should I update? Some people will go through and they'll watch all 3 of those videos to tell you which one that they think you should update. That's 3 videos full of watch time you just got from a single viewer. Of course, it doesn't always work out that way based on how engaged your community is. But there's all sorts of little things that you can do like that to maximize the views, to maximize the watch time, to maximize the clicks. So I think you need to take advantage of all of that stuff. Instead of just thinking, should it be uploaded content or should it be live streams? They give us lots of different places to make content. Take advantage of all of them. Again, with the long answers.
But the long answers are great because people are getting info. And this is helping YouTube creators. And that's what I want to do.
I love it.
So we have another question.
Let's go. What do we got?
Is there a goal to a number of views in the first 24 hours to 48 hours?
Are you talking about standard YouTube videos?
No, YouTube Shorts.
YouTube, oh yeah. So if you upload a YouTube Short, there's no guarantee that it's going to even end up in this short shelf to begin with, right? So what we haven't seen from YouTube And none of the engineers have given us a number yet that says if your short gets X amount of views, then it's going to end up in the short shelf. There's no data like that yet. But here's what happens when you upload a YouTube short. And just in case you also meant videos, I'll address that as well in a second. So when you upload a short, the first thing that's going to happen is, unless you've turned off notifications for your subscribers, right? That is an option as you go through the process on the desktop when you're uploading a video. If your notifications are turned on as you upload the short, your subscribers are going to be the first people who see the short. What I believe is happening in most situations, based on how we know YouTube works with videos in general, when you first upload a video, right? I explained that, how it starts testing your video in front of different groups of people. I believe the same thing happens to shorts in most situations. You upload your short and they see how your subscribers respond to that short. If your subscribers respond positively to that short, then that increases the chance that it's going to end up in the short shelf, and that's where all the traffic is for YouTube Shorts. If your subscribers react negatively, they don't watch it, they don't click on it, they're not interested, then it might not end up in the short shelf. That being said, it can, some videos go up into the short shelf as soon as they're uploaded. Sometimes it can take up to a month to go into the short shelf. So there's no actual formula or there's no actual data to tell us exactly how it ends up there. All we have is information that we know from YouTube from uploading normal pieces of content. But I will say this, the more YouTube knows about your video and knows about your channel, a lot of us believe that that's going to increase the likelihood of them putting your video and your short in front of the right audience. Right now, this is something that can affect your short and your normal content. If YouTube gets mixed signals on your videos, if YouTube has mixed signals on your channel, and this is where variety channels can go wrong. By a variety channel, that means you're not niche down, right? But by variety channel, let's say I've got a couple of videos where I show you how to edit on your phone. I got a couple of videos talking about my favorite coffee. I've got a couple of videos where I'm rebuilding my carburetor. I got a couple of videos where I'm vlogging, taking you around, where I'm just vlogging and doing stuff. Maybe I'm going to pick up my kids that I don't have at school, right? So I've got all this different types of content, and YouTube is going, okay, well, who's the audience for this creator, for this channel? Who is this channel for? So when I upload, here's a video here, how to edit on your iPhone, and then I upload another video for, this is my favorite coffee. YouTube doesn't necessarily know right away that there's been a shift there. Sometimes as smart as YouTube is, they still might put your video in front of the wrong audience. So they might put my coffee video in front of people who are interested in iPhones, right? YouTube's pretty smart, but they do make mistakes like that. That's why there's power in niching down. The more you niche down, the more you tell YouTube exactly what your channel is about. And eventually, after you have enough pieces of content, YouTube's got a pretty good avatar on you so that they know the right audience for your videos. And I believe the same thing happens with shorts. So the more information they have on you, the better the chance they put it in front of the right audience. If they put it in front of the right audience, then there's a good chance that people are going to watch the video. If you're just starting out and you're confusing YouTube because you've got all these different types of content and you're like, people just aren't responding to my click-through rate is terrible. Your click-through rate is, how well your thumbnail does, how many people click on your thumbnail, or people are click in, but they don't watch my video, right? It could mean that your video is actually great. You might be an amazing creator with tons of possibility and just tons of opportunity coming your way, but YouTube is putting your videos in front of the wrong audience and they're just not interested. So you're looking at this data and you're like, man, my data, everybody says lean on your data. Look at your data. The data doesn't lie. And that's correct. The data doesn't lie, but you have to make sure that in order to get the correct data, your videos have to be in front of the correct audience in the first place. So this is the power of niching down. This is the power of making sure you fill out a good keyword-rich description. This is the power of making sure that your title makes sense and it speaks to a particular audience. The more you can speak to a particular audience, give YouTube as much information as you can on your particular video and as your channel as a whole, you increase the likelihood that your videos in shorts are going in front of the right people. In terms of videos, is there a view count that you should work on to try to achieve? like I can tell you what I want per video, but for you, you just want to do better than the last video that you did. So if you uploaded your last video and you got 500 views, in the video before that maybe got 400 views, the video before that maybe got 800 views. So you're going to figure out what the average is on your channel for your videos and just try to compete against yourself instead of trying to compete against other channels or trying to figure out, well, they're getting 5,000 views in the first 24 hours. I'm only getting 2,000 views. What am I doing wrong? You're not doing anything wrong. Compete against your other pieces of content. And if you find that you're hitting a ceiling, if you're like, every time I upload a video, I can't break past 100 views, or I can't break past 1,000 views, then you need to figure out new ways to find new people to come and look at your channel, right? This the audience that's watching your content is only a certain size, and you're hitting a ceiling because of that. So you want to try to reach new people. Again, with the long answers.
And we have another amazing question. What are your thoughts on uploading a video and keep it unlisted, and then after it processes to like 4K, 1080, is that good?
If you want to wait for the encodes to complete,
Yeah.
I don't upload in 4K because the majority of my audience, like 80-something% of, I think 87% of my viewers are watching from a mobile device. So it doesn't make sense for me to upload in 4K. Even that being said, even if half of my audience watch from a mobile device, I'd still upload in 1080, right? I would still upload in 1080 just for, it's faster to render, and I'm all about, efficiency. And I never care as a viewer. And this is a thing to ask yourself. Now, there are video files, there are audio files out there where people, there's video snobs where they just everything they want to watch in 4K. That's fine. But I bet you a very small percentage of your audience cares, what you're uploading at. But I would at least aim for 1080. So I won't publish a video until 1080 is rendered and ready. If you're uploading in 4K, and you want to wait for 4K, I don't think it's going to hurt you, but I think it's also safe to let it go at 1080p as well. So I would look at the devices that are watching your video. You can find that inside of YouTube Studio to see what percentage, people are even watching your videos on a device where 4K even matters. For me, it doesn't matter. Even if it did matter, I'm trying to reach the masses. I'm not trying to reach a small minority who are interested in 4K. But that's just me and the type of content that I make. You might be a filmmaker, and every pixel might count for the content that you're making, right? So if 4K matters to you, then hold off until 4K is finished rendering.
Great. Does anyone else have any more questions?
Pete Johns probably has a couple of them. Pete always comes in with the questions.
Pete knows maybe has a question.
Pete knows.
Matt says my vids stay unlisted for a couple minutes until the metadata, and it's going to be in 1080p. Wait,
yeah, something else that you'll find too, as your channel gets bigger. So YouTube has lots of different servers, and on those servers, they're encoding videos. I forget 700 minutes. I know I'm going to say the wrong number here, but it's something insane, like 700 hours of YouTube gets uploaded every minute, or something insane like that, right? Whatever the data is on that, it's jaw dropping the amount of videos that they're encoding at any given time. What you're going to find is the bigger your channel gets, they actually put weight on those channels for encoding your videos, right? So if you're just starting out, you're going to find that it takes a lot longer to encode your videos and get through the different qualities. You're going to get through it a lot slower than someone who's got, 50,000 or 100,000 or even 1 million subscribers on their channel. I can upload a video. So I can upload a video in 1080, will be finished processing literally within seconds of it being uploaded. Seconds. So it's like the file is finished uploading, and within, I would say, 15 to 20 seconds, I have a 1080 upload that's ready to go. I can't even fill out my title and description fast enough, but before the upload's ready. So if you're finding that it takes a while, just keep going. It'll speed up.
Pete has a great
I knew
question.
he would. I knew he would. Pete always brings it.
Question: do you recommend batch recording a number of videos or just focusing one at a time?
That's a great question. And I think it depends on you as a creator. I've done both. When I've done batch recording and I did it successfully, right? I've also done batch recording where I've sat down, I've recorded 3 different videos, and then I go to edit the videos and I pull them in and the audio's messed up on all 3 of them. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, I just ruined 3 videos. Right? So I've had complete catastrophes while batch recording. And I've been very successful at batch recording, but I will say this about batch recording. There's something to be said about knowing that you've got content built up in the library, content in the can, if you will, so you don't have to worry about it. You know what? My content's done for the week or my content is done for the month. Man, there's power in that because then you can focus on other things. So, if you do have a day where it's like, you know what? I'm recording today, I'm editing today, and then I'm not going to even think about YouTube other than answering comments for the next 2 or 3 weeks. There's power in that, but that's not always practical. So if you do have to record one at a time, like I've been recording one at a time for the past year and a half, probably. Yeah, about the past year, I've been recording one at a time. It's just because that's just been the mood that I'm in, right? I'm traveling. Well, I'm not traveling. I'm stranded in another country because of what's going on in the world. For me to sit down and knock out 3 videos, start to finish, and edit those videos, I've really got to be in the mood to do that. But if you can, yeah, there's, you might sleep a little bit better at night.
Okay, we have another good question. Is
All right.
YouTube Shorts like similar to IG 15 seconds? And Patty says one strategy is to say new post to get viewers to go to my IG page. So can one viewer so can I test new upload to get new viewer on YouTube channel?
In terms of length, so YouTube Shorts has a maximum of, I think it's 59 seconds, right? They say 60, but they count the zero. So I think it's 59 seconds is the maximum length for YouTube Short. That being said, YouTube recommends that people make shorts 15 seconds long. The YouTube Shorts camera records 15-second clips. The reason why YouTube recommends 15 seconds isn't because they want to make us less creative. It's because the goal of YouTube, they want people to complete the video. So if you're making a 50-second, so you got 50 seconds for your short, but half of the people are not completing it, or maybe 20% are only completing it. Okay, but what if you had a shorter video and you got 90% of the people completing that video? So I think YouTube is recommending 15 seconds because they want people to complete the video. That's what they want. Complete the video and then move on to the next video. Because you got to keep in mind, the goal of YouTube isn't to support us, isn't to get our videos out there. The goal of YouTube is to make money. YouTube makes money through sponsors, through ads, through companies that are running ads on the platform. They are going to monetize shorts. So if they can create a user habit right now where people are completing a short before going on to the next short, then when they do start monetizing this and you put some sort of an ad on top of shorts, we're not sure exactly yet how they're going to do it. If they've created a habit of teaching people how to use shorts, then that's going to give them a better indication of how to put those ads in there on top of shorts or in between the shorts, right? So their motive behind this is always going to be money, but I think they're saying 15 seconds to get people to watch it. If they can get more people to complete the short, that's going to give them more data and give them an idea in terms of cadence, how to put the ads inside of the shorts. So in terms of saying new post to get viewers to go to the Instagram page, the one can test new upload. I'm not sure, where are you putting new post? I'm a little bit confused with your second part of the question there. Are you talking about putting it in the video, or are you talking about putting it in your community feed?
I don't know, but I reposted your question as
Yeah, I need a little bit of clarity on that one so I can answer it. So in the meantime, I see Awesome Wood Things has a question. They say, question, is the target 8% CTR and 50% average percent viewed the target for YouTube to start pushing your videos more? Those stats seem to be the best guess for tripping the algorithm. So it depends. So if you have an 8% click-through rate and a 50% average view duration, but you only have 70 views, that doesn't mean a whole lot, right? But if you've got 7,000 views and you've got an 8% click-through rate and 50% average view duration, that means something. So it depends on the type of views that you're getting. A lot of people start YouTube, right? And this is where sometimes there's a lack of clarity with information regarding click-through rate and average view duration. A lot of people start YouTube. They don't get a lot of views. They get like 50 views. And they go, I've got a 20% click-through rate. How many views did you get? I got 50. That doesn't mean anything. Right? Like you've got such a small sample of people who've clicked on your thumbnail. I mean, that's better than, a low click-through rate, but it really doesn't count yet. That's why YouTube isn't really pushing that out. So I would say if you've got a low view count, it doesn't really mean much. But if you start to get a larger view, it doesn't have to be 7,000. It could be several hundred, it could be several thousands. But if you're noticing consistently that you're getting 8% plus click-through rate, 50% plus average view duration, I'd say that's definitely a great starting point. That's definitely a goal to aim for. But here's the thing, and it depends on the type of content that you're making. So if you have, yours is Awesome Wood Things. So I'm going to guess that you're showing people how to make stuff out of wood. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But I'm using my own channel as an example. I teach people how to make things with their phone, right? How to do editing tutorials and that sort of thing with their phone. That means the majority of my traffic is search-based traffic. People go to YouTube, they type in how to edit on my phone, how to make YouTube videos on my phone. And then YouTube presents to them a bunch of results based on relevancy, based on what they just searched for, based on click-through rate, based on average view duration, right? Relevancy, click-through rate, average view duration. That's what's ranking those videos. Now, you don't have to have the highest click-through rate or the best average view duration in order to rank up at the top for a particular search query. All you have to do is outrank the other videos that are competing for the same title. So that's why it's a little bit difficult for me to say 8% click-through rate and 50% average view duration. I would say 50% is a great place to start for your average view duration. That's a great place to start. 8%, I'm happy with an 8% click-through rate with my channel, right? I've got click-through rates of 4%. I've got click-through rates of like 28%, and I've got everything in between. But if I'm happy with an 8%, I'm happy with a 10%. But if you're finding that nothing is happening, that's your data, and you're finding that nothing is happening on your channel, and you're still getting a good amount of views. You're like, man, I'm getting 1,000 views. I'm getting 2,000 views. Number one, just keep going. It could just take a while to get the ball rolling, right? Sometimes it can take a long time to get the ball rolling. Two, try to move that 50% up to 60 or 65% or 70%, right? Because maybe for your particular type of content, 50% could be low compared to people making content like yours. So step on the gas a little bit, tighten up your editing, try to find ways to get people to watch that to 60%. And if you move it up to 60 and that still doesn't help, try to push it a little bit more. Try to drive that 8% up to 10%. And if that's still not moving things, keep editing, keep whittling, keep molding things and trying to keep learning from your data to make it even better, right? You got to keep tweaking, keep tweaking, keep tweaking. Because let's say if you're getting a couple of thousand views at 8% and 50% and nothing's happening on your channel, it could be because the channels that are making similar topics to yours are doing better than yours still. Could be. Could also be that you might not be seeing a lot of growth because even though I think that's pretty good, 8% and 50%, it could always be better, but I think that's good. There might not be a lot of people who are interested in a particular topic that you're making, right? So if you're, let's say, awesome wood things and you're teaching people how to make things from wood, or you're showcasing things made out of wood, but you're making videos that are just incredibly niche down, like a particular type of wood and a particular thing that's made out of this wood that a lot of people don't even know about, a very, like a niche within a niche, you might end up owning that market, but it could be a very small market, and that could also be stunting your growth. So it's not a black and white, it's not a yes or no answer there. There's a lot of variables, but just keep pushing those numbers as high as you can. If you're hitting 8%, go for 10%. If you can get 50%, try to get 55 or 60%, and just keep doing that. Keep doing that, improving video after video. Eventually, as long as you haven't painted yourself in a corner and niche down too much, eventually you will start to see some momentum building up on your channel.
So, Dr. Elo says that there's a way to do monetization with shorts if you upload from computer.
Yeah. So here's the thing with YouTube Shorts, and there's a lot of misinformation going around about this. When a YouTube short is in the shorts shelf, number one, it currently cannot be monetized. Number two, any watch time hours or watch time minutes that you get from this short in the short shelf does not apply towards YouTube monetization. However, subscribers that you gain from shorts while on the short shelf, those do apply towards monetization, right? As if it's not confusing enough. However, that short, while being in the short shelf at the exact same time, can end up getting traffic from browse. It can end up getting traffic from search. People are searching for stuff. It can end up on people's homepage as a normal video. It can end up being viewed by your subscribers. So any traffic outside of the short shelf, if you are monetized, that does count towards monetization. Those watch hours do count, and the subscribers do count as well. Now, if you do have the shorts camera and you're uploading, you're making your shorts, you're doing everything in the shorts camera, it is my understanding, because I don't have it yet, it is my understanding that that is going directly, potentially going to the short shelf, and doesn't have the ability, from what I understand, I could be wrong, to live outside of YouTube if it's made in the shorts camera. I could be wrong on that because I don't have it yet, and I haven't studied the shorts camera enough yet. But that's what I know about that there.
So, yeah. If
It's
no
where,
one
yeah,
else, if no
it's
one
where they
else,
watch it from is what it comes down to. You know, where they view the short video in, where they view it at, depends on if you can make money on that or not.
yes. If no one else has any more questions, we are wrapping it up because I always want to keep it like an hour so people can watch the replay. And last week, I was talking for an hour 30 on a live stream. Didn't know that. And I want to have these info streams that are helping YouTube creators, and I don't want them to be like 2 hours, so people can
Totally,
watch
man.
the
Totally.
replay. But
Yes.
thank you guys for watching. If no one else has questions, we will see you soon. But yeah, all things YouTube says hi.
Yeah, Sammy, listen, man, thank you for having me on. It's been a pleasure. I hope
Yes.
I answered everyone's questions. If you guys want me back, let Sammy know. I'd be happy to come back another time. Thanks for all the awesome questions. And if you guys haven't smashed the thumbs up yet, give this a thumbs up. Let us know you had a good time. Let us know you learned something.
Yeah, and maybe subscribe because we're almost to 260 or something like that.
Right on. I love it.
Yeah. So thank you guys for watching. Peace out. Bye.